What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel for 4K Friday. Today, we're going back to 1996. That's the year I graduated from high school. For the British cult classic, Trainspotting. This was released for the first time on 4K, and the Criterion Collection has done a fabulous job with this release. Let's check it out. Weird. Gotta open it up. Inside, got the Blu-ray disc, 4K disc. You know, one thing that annoys me is, look at these sleeves. You have to take the discs out of these sleeves. It's a good way to get them scratched. Not into that. More into the keeper cases. But also in here, you have this book. Has some pictures of the actors. It's pretty cool. As well as some short stories and essays from a film critic named Graham Fuller. As well as the author of the book that the movie is based on, Irvine Welsh. Pretty cool. I like it when they include booklets. Not really into the sleeves though, but there is one thing that, I can get over that. There's one thing that really annoys me is, look at this. This is the last release I got from the Criterion Collection. It's not opened yet because I just got it. Notice anything? It's bigger. Check this out. This is what the issue is. Doesn't fit. Now, I had to lay it sideways. It's terrible. Why can't they just come in a keeper type case? I did see this movie when it was released back in the late 1990s, and I liked it. One thing that I remember about this movie is not the excessive drug use. For some reason, I forgot about that. But the scene when Ewan McGregor jumps, or I should say dives, into that disgusting toilet and swims to a bottom of a, I don't know, it was like a sewer or something, this giant lake, to get his drugs. That was disgusting. That's the thing that stuck with me. Like I said, there is excessive drug use in this film. And while the film romanticizes it to great extent, and the film is not for the faint of heart, it's still not that hard of a watch compared to Requiem for a Dream. I can never watch that thing again. Danny Boyle directed this flick, and he did a fantastic job of showing the late 1980s British subculture, and it helped define a generation. Didn't necessarily define me per se, but I was really into Ewan McGregor, and shortly after this, he would be Obi-Wan Kenobi. This film is based on the 1993 novel by Irvine Welsh. The film follows 5 friends, 4 of which are heroin addicts, and 1 alcoholic with temper issues in Edinburgh, Scotland. Mark, played by Ewan McGregor, is the main lead, and he constantly goes in and out of addiction, becoming bored with the day-to-day grind, and usually slides back into addiction. Fueled by sex and drugs, the 5 trudge through life trying to get by. With the help of his parents, Mark eventually kicks the habit and ends up with some purpose in life, which culminates in a heroin sale, which then he rips off his friends except for 1, and he goes on to hopefully start fresh.
I'd just like to say it's been a real pleasure handling with you. Fucking brand new, by the way.
Like I said, Ewan McGregor rounds out a solid cast that also consisted of Johnny Lee Miller, Robert Carlyle, Kevin McKidd, and Ewan Bremner. You really only care about Ewan McGregor though, as you want to see him succeed, but it's sad that you see him constantly slide back into addiction. I did enjoy seeing him finally kick it in the end, and at the same time, help out his friend Spud. Danny Boyle got terrific performances out of everyone, even though the subject matter was difficult. Personally, I prefer his 28 Days Later flick. The film is presented in 1:8:1 aspect ratio in both HDR and Dolby Vision, which shines in some places, but is off in others. I was surprised the film wasn't great looking throughout because we just watched films in the same time frame that looked noticeably better. Colors just seemed off. It didn't really detract, but I was expecting a lot better since Danny Boyle personally supervised the transfer and even mentions it prominently on the packaging. The DTS audio track was fine, even though it was dialogue heavy. McGregor's voice was clear and distinct. While the surrounds do get engaged, there weren't a lot of scenes requiring it. It's fine. The soundtrack was pretty catchy at times, with some good British hits. There is a ton of special features, all accessed from the Blu-ray, which is pretty standard nowadays. I was a little confused when first accessing them since you actually have to select each section and then select that section to expand it. That was weird. You have the standard commentary track with Danny Boyle, Ewan McGregor, and a few others. You then have several documentaries about designing the film, how the soundtrack songs were selected, the memories of making the film, as well as making the film itself. There's also 11 minutes of deleted scenes, some trailers, and a few test readings by McGregor. There's about 2 hours of extras here. All in all, outside of the giant case, this is a fine release. It's definitely made for fans of this film. If you're not a fan of the film, it's probably not on your watch list, so you don't have to worry about buying it. 7 out of 10. Fix the case. Do it. Well, that's today's review. Come back again on 4K Friday. See what we're watching.
Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share, bruh.